1. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Speak Your Piece podcast. My name is McNaughton, SYP creator, Big E here. Pleased to be joined by fellow member, creator, all around good guy, SYP creator Scott. Scotty K. What's new?
What's new? Wow, what is new? Oh my gosh. I don't know, dude. I'm just living life. I start my practicum tomorrow, which is exciting.
Ooh.
Team Blue lost in the KJ for the first time in 2022 last night, so we're reeling a little bit, but it's okay. We'll get it back on track for next week for sure.
Bit of an emotional weekend for you then, with considering the loss.
Yeah, I could think what we just witnessed not 10 minutes ago. Yeah, actually honestly it's been a really good weekend, all things considered.
Okay. For those who don't know, Scott went to Big White, also known as Big Whiteout. Was it foggy there at all?
The opposite, actually. It was clear. Yeah.
So Scott's been hanging out in Big White. I've been hanging out in America. We just watched the end. We're doing this Monday night. We're just watching the end of the Red Wings Ducks game in Detroit. The Red Wings won. Not a big deal. It happens. We get some wins sometimes. Full weekend, I think, for both of us. Scott, what was the after party on Saturday then? What's the move after skiing at Big White all day?
After skiing at Big White? Well, in a normal weekend, when I don't work Sunday morning, it's a little trip to Mackenzie Road. Shout out to Mackenzie Road hosts. They're all lovely, and it's always a riot at their house. This weekend was very chill, roll up in sweatpants. People were drinking. I wasn't drinking. I had to work the next morning, but all in all, it was not bad. It was good.
Are you one of those people that does the little bottles of Fireball on the lift, as you're going up a lift?
No? Honestly, I'd rather just bring a beer in the bag and just crack it somewhere on the mountain. I think that's more the move for me.
That's the move. Okay, I can't remember the last time I went. Actually, I think the last time I went skiing might have been at Big White for a family vacation.
Really?
I haven't skied in forever. I'd go up to Big White just to go play hockey there again if the rink is still there.
Yeah, it's still there. Yeah, it's awesome. We have to get you on the ski hill though. We'll have to get you ripping down the slopes.
I think I did moguls maybe the last time I was at Big White too. That's how athletic I used to be. That was probably my athletic peak. We were having conversations about that yesterday with the Silver Tips about our athletic peaks, and I was talking about when I, before anemia, before blood disorder, how I was arguably the best player in our baseball league.
Yeah, well, I think athletic peak is when you stole second and third base in one play. I think that was. Do you know?
I don't remember that one. When you stole home?
No. Okay, that was all time, but that wasn't you. That was me.
Yeah, you stole home. That was your athletic peak. Hot take.
Hot take. It's a very hot take.
No, mine I think was when I hit 2 home runs before I had anemia.
Oh, that's yeah.
In minor ball. I don't remember. Did I steal bases?
Yeah. But why do you think we called you Speed Demon?
Because I didn't steal. I thought the irony is that I never stole bases, so you called me Speed Demon.
But you stole second one time, and the bench wasn't going nuts. We were down 8-0 in the game, but you did steal a base. We went nuts for sure.
Was it a wild pitch?
Yes, but it was a very wild pitch.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense than
you still stole base, though. Doesn't matter.
I was in the States all weekend. The Silver Tips won 3 games in 3 nights, including a big gutsy win over the Seattle Thunderbirds last night, 4-2 at home. Shout out to Johnny Lambo's D-man. He took a bit of not a dirty hit, but just kind of a suicide pass in the first 12 seconds of the game last night, and basically got ran over by Lucas Siona, like a freight train, and Lambos didn't see him coming. He was down on the ice for about 25 minutes last night before he got stretchered off. Whoa. But he came back to the arena last night and he got to see all the boys, so that was good. But gutsy win over the Seattle Thunderbirds last night for my Silver Tip, so that was great. I also went out on Saturday, but Scott and I were talking before, not very eventful, not really worth talking about on here. Did you watch any football this weekend, Scott?
Actually, a little bit, yeah. So just at work, just at work.
You probably, I was gonna say, you probably watched more than I did. I didn't watch any football this weekend. Like I caught zero action.
I did watch probably more than you did. Yeah, it was very, very interesting. And I remember we talked, maybe it was a podcast or two podcasts ago. The result of the games was not what we expected or hoped, but I still think it's going to be a great Super Bowl regardless.
So in case you've been living under a rock for the last, I don't know, 24 hours, the Cincinnati Bengals came back to beat the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday. And then the Rams they came back, to win 17-14 over the San Francisco 49ers. I think the big takeaway for myself, at least this weekend, has to be Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
Oh, 100%. I couldn't agree more.
Like, there's many things when I think of Joe Burrow, many things come to mind at once. The dudes with the most swagger in the world right now are Joe Burrow, Jack Harlow, and Pete Davidson. I don't even know why I try and compete, because I'm like, those three just have everything. But I think with Joe Burrow, I don't know how well you know the Joe Burrow story. It pays to bet on yourself. It pays to fucking bet on yourself. And Burrow used to play for the Ohio State University. Then he transferred to LSU to be the starting quarterback at LSU. He won a national championship at LSU. He won the Heisman, had one of the greatest seasons in college football history, gets drafted first overall, goes to the Bengals, and in 2 years, they're a Super Bowl team. To me, it's quite the story. It's quite the progression from going from university, being an Ohio guy. Now he's taking Cincinnati, a team that has had little to no success throughout most of its history. It's certainly not Super Bowl success. They've never won a Super Bowl. They've been twice, never won. I just find it rewarding to see somebody like him, bet on himself, do well. And Absolutely. He might not win the Super Bowl, but he's getting rewarded for it.
100%. And again, I think that just goes to show you, again, he's so young in his career. It's his second year in the league, I think. And he's such a quite quiet. Well, I shouldn't say he's not quite confident anymore, but he's such a confident guy. And he's just, it's fun. It's kind of, you can't not root for the guy. You got to appreciate what he's doing, for the game. And again, he's a new, fresh face. And again, with Brady on his way out, we'll talk about that in a bit. I don't want to say he's now the face of the NFL in terms of from the quarterback position, but he's definitely going to be there soon. If not,
he's definitely somebody that people are going to want to tune in to watch.
100%.
There's gonna be there's gonna be millions more people who wouldn't watch the Super Bowl who are now going to watch because of Joe Burrow, and they want to see how well he does.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%. And again, so very casual, as a very casual NFL viewer, I kind of started paying attention. Okay, whoa, the Bengals are in the AFC Championship. What the heck's going on? So I'm like, okay, this Joe Burrow guy's pretty good. What's his name? Jamar Chase or something?
Jamar Chase, wide receiver.
Yeah, wide receiver is really good. I think the Bengals defense is kind of sick too.
It's statistically not great, but
right.
They do have pieces.
Right. Okay. So it's very intriguing, the story of the Bengals story, and it's coming out of a tougher AFC North division. It's cool to see for sure.
Oh, and I mean, this is what also I have written down here. The Bengals, again, I don't know how well you know the Bengals. You probably don't know the Bengals front office very well, but it's a lot of, not a lot, but there's quite a bit of nepotism within the Bengals organization right. At the top down. Of Mike Brown, who is the son of Paul Brown, legendary NFL coach, and there's all these connections within the front office. And this is probably their best, certainly since I was born, their best 3-year stretch of hiring Zach Taylor, former Sean McVay guy, to be their next head coach, drafting Burrow in the first round in 2020, first overall in 2020, and T. Higgins, former Clemson wide receiver, in the second round in 2020, taking Jamar Chase this year, signing Trey Hendrickson as a D lineman who had one of the best pressure rates this past weekend. all of these things have just paid off and have just worked out like in a row. It's just boom, 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 setting themselves up for this Super Bowl run. And like, I'm a football guy, and I thought the Bengals were good. I didn't think they were this good. But there is something to be said for just, having a plan, sticking with it, and just, nailing all the moves like they have over the last 3 years.
Yeah. I guess question, do you think they've all kind of overachieved, or has everything kind of worked out? Like in terms of like everyone, they get all their bounces, they get the whatever lucky coin toss. I don't know. You would know better than I.
They're ahead of schedule is what I would say this year. Like, I think they had the plan set up. Like, they had the plan with Zach Taylor head coach. They had the plan with Burrow as the quarterback. I think they were probably a year or two ahead of schedule.
Right.
But now that they know that they can make a Super Bowl and arguably they just beat Kansas City, but roster-wise, I think the Chiefs have a better roster. A worse roster than the Buffalo Bills. It now gives them this confidence moving forward of, hey, we can do this. We've been here before. Especially for somebody like Joe Burrow, who has that swagger and has that, almost insane self-confidence of just like, we can do this. We can go out and win. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Very quiet. And it's again, very interesting, like his motivation aspect of it and how he kind of gets himself like up for games. It's, yeah, like you said, that quiet confidence is kind of infectious for a team like that, who's maybe a bit of an underdog. And it's, yeah, definitely fun to see for sure.
Especially from the quarterback position.
No doubt. Yeah.
Especially from quarterback.
As a leader on the team, you have to be that kind of that face of the team. And it's fun to watch for sure.
Let's throw it over to the NFC a little bit. We can talk about Matthew Stafford making his first Super Bowl appearance. So kudos to Matthew Stafford. Yakima, Washington native Cooper Kupp just crushing it right now. Former Eastern Washington, I think it's Eagles is what they are.
Right.
Third round pick of the Rams in 2016, I believe. The Rams are really good. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, they have one of the best front office staff with Les Snead as general manager. Sean McVay, 36 years old. This is his second Super Bowl appearance with a second different quarterback this time around. I'd love to see Matthew Stafford get the Super Bowl ring. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm not going to make my picks right now, just like a day after the conference championship, but I'd love to see Stafford get a Super Bowl ring. Scott, what do you like about the Rams the most? What's the thing that you love about the Rams?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that they're playing a home Super Bowl. So it's the second time in 2 years it's a home Super Bowl, which is very cool. I don't know if it's rarely happened in the NFL.
It never happened before last season.
And that's happened twice in 2 years. So to me, that's a huge advantage for the Rams. I'm pretty sure this is Odell Beckham's first Super Bowl.
Yes.
I believe it is. And I think he's the kind of guy that put him in a spotlight and look out. Like, he might go big. Again, Stafford's a great quarterback, and he's, done great things since coming over from Detroit. But with Kupp and Beckham Jr. on both sides of the ball, or on both sides of the O-line, it's kind of a scary offense, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's the match. I mean, we'll have a big Super Bowl preview next week, but that is the matchup to be concerned about, is the Rams offense versus the Bengals defense. If you're Cincinnati, just outmatched probably at every position. But similar to the Bengals thing, it's like, they traded 2 first-round picks for, 3 extra first-round picks for Matthew Stafford. They traded first-round picks for Jalen Ramsey a few years ago. They made this bet on a third-round draft pick from Eastern Washington and Cooper Kupp not that long ago. All these, they took in Odell Beckham Jr. in the middle of the season after his whole dispute with Cleveland, similar with the Cincinnati, LA, just bunch of plays, bunch of moves in a row. They had the plan, and now it's worked out for them. And they're back. I mean, this isn't as surprising as Cincinnati, because LA is more of a star-studded team. They've been to the Super Bowl recently, so it's not totally surprising, but it is cool to see them do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, they've shifted city. I mean, that was a couple years ago now, but they've shifted to Los Angeles from St. Louis, and
Mhm.
that whole in terms of the organizational change, that's a big move, and the fact they've done 2 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years is pretty good.
Mhm.
So it's not bad. It's fun. Again, like you said, star-studded roster. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald is another guy that comes to mind. That defense is kind of nice too, especially that front, the defensive line with Von, and then if you throw Von Miller in there too, like it's yeah.
Um, I hope Aaron Donald has to win a Super Bowl in his career. He just has to. He can't not win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Von Miller obviously really good. You remember when he was with the Broncos and they went down their Super Bowl run. The other guy, I know we're going to do a bigger Super Bowl pod next week. I know, but Sheldon Joseph Day,
Hmm.
nose tackle.
Yeah.
Or not Sheldon, Sebastian. Sorry, I'm thinking of Sheldon Richardson. Sebastian Joseph Day. I think he wears number 69, nose tackle for the Rams on a D line. Doesn't get a lot of tackle. He's just a big dude taking up a lot of space on line. And it allows Donald to, get by guys, or, if people are occupied with the big guy, it lets Donald get through, or Miller on the edge. There's a lot to like about this Rams team. Even as a Seahawks fan, there's a lot to like about it and how they built it.
For sure. No, absolutely. It's like we set off the top. It's gonna be a great Super Bowl, and I'm very much looking forward to that Rams offense, Bengals defense matchup. I will say.
Or even the Bengals offense versus the Rams defense. Like
Well,
that's going to be like a real chess match.
real chess match. Well, again, that's the thing. It's gonna be fun to watch Ramsey and Jamar Chase go at it one on one. That's gonna be kind of nice. Not gonna lie. Not that they'll play against each other every snap, but
It is going to rock.
It's gonna rock. Yeah, for sure.
Any other football NFL you want to do the Tom Brady talk then?
Oh, I think we should. I think it's probably arguably the biggest news of the week.
Well, we don't know if it's official. It's not officially official.
That's the thing. Yeah, true.
So for those who've been living under a rock, Tom Brady was allegedly retiring on Saturday. This is according to Adam Schefter, who put something out there that said that insider source has told me Tom Brady is retiring. At which point, everybody then that just started making the rounds, and everybody made their, congratulations, Tom, posting stuff out there, type stuff.
Yeah.
But then as the rest of Saturday went on into Sunday, there wasn't any official thing from Brady. I didn't hear him say anything about that he was retiring. Bruce Arians didn't say that he was retiring. Not weird, because I think this is kind of like this, maybe not this type of player retiring thing has happened before, but I feel like this has happened where something has been put out there, but it's not totally confirmed and it's not totally official. It's just a rumor, yeah. And then it just evolves and spreads and whatnot. Definitely. Tom Brady. Do you think Brady should retire?
I had an interesting conversation with someone not too long ago about the whole Brady, and again, going back to Jordan in '98 when he was like retired in a way, like they didn't let him get another shot at a championship, and again he won in early 2021. He won a Super Bowl with the Bucks, and this was kind of like his last crack at the can. If he won this year, then let's do it again. Why can't I win again? But now that because they lost. In the playoffs, it's one of those things like, what, maybe it is time to hang him up, but you never know with Brady. I think Brady could keep playing for another 2 or 3 years, but again, it's really up to him and what he feels like doing. So
but that's just it. Like we've said this before, like we said 2 or 3 years ago that Brady might have like another 2 or 3 years left in him. Yep. And like he set like a bunch of NFL, like he was like the leader in passing yards, touchdowns, all those stats this year.
Yep.
Like the guy can still play. The guy can still play. Like he's still an elite quarterback.
And he's got a good team around him too. And that's the thing. The Bucks are, still, I'd say, one of the best teams in the NFC, with the Packers and the Rams, arguably, and the 49ers as well. But it's just one of those things. Like he's still got it, and it's not like the team around him is garbage. That's not the case. Like they're a team built to go on a run and win Super Bowl with a few changes here in the offseason. I don't know what Brady's going to do, to be honest. And I think that's very Brady-like if they'll kind of just keep it quiet and keep it under wraps until it's like truly official. So
I will say, if Brady is retiring, if this is the last we've seen of Tom Brady, I know people will talk about, all the accolades and all the accomplishments he's had in his NFL career. And rightfully so. He is the GOAT. He is the greatest football player of all time. There's no arguing that. What has really impressed me the most about Tom Brady is his, I don't know if character transformation is the right term I'm looking for, but how we look at Tom Brady now is how, it's not how we looked at him 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Like, he's more personable on social media. He's doing more interviews. He's getting drunk at his own Super Bowl party, and he's tossing the Lombardi from one boat to the other. And people like that. People like personality. People like character. And I know that's not quite how it always was in New England. And things have evolved and things have changed a little bit. He's with the Bucks. But that's what I will probably remember the most about Brady in his playing career is the character transformation from being just this guy that everybody absolutely hated, was always a bitch to play against. They never liked him, quiet, the New England way. And in the latter part, he's becoming more open, more personable. He just seems like more of a normal dude outside of his TB12 diet and, kissing his son on the lips. Like, outside of that, it's, he just seems like a normal guy when he's doing all this sort of stuff. So that's kind of my biggest takeaway with Tom Brady in his career.
Absolutely. And again, that's like Brady, like you said, Brady's the undisputed NFL GOAT. There's no way you can argue that. It's so when you have 7 Super Bowl rings, you're unmatched, to be honest. And it's
And if Tom Brady is coming back, you better not beat my fucking team. All right.
Do the Bucks even play the Bucks next year?
I don't know what they do. I might even take Brady in fantasy next year if he comes back. That's how desperate I am. But I mean, Tampa Bay, like you said, is still really fucking good. The rest of the NFC South isn't, but Seattle gets to go to Tampa Bay next year.
Lucky them.
Can we do an SYP takeover in Tampa? Would you go to Florida?
Would I go to Florida?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
Judging by that facial reaction, that's probably a no.
I'd rather go to California before Florida any day of the week.
Well, anybody would. That's the thing.
That's okay. Fair enough. I'd rather go to Arizona than Florida any day of the week.
That's gonna be a hot take for some, but I also agree with that.
Okay.
You want to switch over to hockey?
Let's switch over to hockey.
So your Ducks lost, but that's not what we had on the agenda here.
No.
That was a bit of a low.
If they won, it still wouldn't have been on the agenda.
No. The result of this game was not on the agenda, is what I'm trying to say. That was just a low blow for me. Scott and I are going to go through some quick midseason award picks. So pretty much this week, we're going to do some midseason awards, choices that we have. And then next week, we're going to be just discussing the All-Star game and how that all went down in Vegas. Which award, I have a list, but which award do you want to start with first?
I think we should start with the Jack Adams and work our way up that list.
Okay. All right. I have asked Scott to give me his top 3 Jack Adams selections.
Yep.
I've written down 5 for every category except the heart. Okay. But I want to hear what your 3 are for each award. So starting with Jack Adams, who's your top 3 in Jack Adams award right now?
That's tough.
Who do you have as your number 1?
Probably Rod Brind'Amour.
Okay.
Rod Brind'Amour is probably my number 1, to be honest.
Do you think you're in as good, if not better, of a shape than Rod Brind'Amour is now?
Dude, he's in way better shape than I am. Yeah, he's a beast. He's an absolute beast. I think they're talking about in the Toronto bubble. during the 2020 playoffs, like he would be working out with the team, and like I think he went tarps
Yes.
on the a BMO field, like just there because it's just screwing around, whatever. Like, yeah, guy was ripped, unbelievable.
I might make that the thumbnail of this podcast is just Rob Brendamore shirtless, or I could just post on SYP out of context.
Yeah, there you go. Totally out of context. Yeah,
SYP out of context. So Rod Brendamore is your Jack Adams leader right now.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
No doubt about it. The Hurricanes they're an absolute wagon, and he's a big part of it. So
he is one of, if not my favorite coach in the NFL or in the NHL this year. He's just really good. Like, I love what they're building in Carolina.
He's just I think he's such a player's coach, and I mean, it helps that he's a legend in that franchise. But again, he's just such a person, like fun person, but tough at the same way. Like he's got this tough persona, but he's probably like really good with his players, especially the rookies and the younger guys.
Yeah.
On the team, and I'm pretty damn sure he's taking Aho under his wing because Aho looks like the better version of Brendamore. Not gonna lie.
Aho looks like the 2022 version of Rod Brendamore in today's I
think so. Just less physical.
Yeah. But so you have Brendamore 1.
Yep. Daryl Sutter 2, maybe.
Eesh.
Maybe. I'd even say like, well, I mean, okay, John Cooper's on this list every year, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. So my 3, I have Mike Sullivan is my top.
Nice, yeah.
Is my top. Andrew Brunette.
Okay.
It's my number 2.
Yep.
And then Brendamore is my 3rd. I just like,
the whole Florida thing, like if Joe Quenneville was still running the show, I think he'd be number 1 on everyone's list, to be honest. But because of the situation with Kyle Beach and all of that, he's not on the team anymore, and Brunette's done a great job in his relief, don't get me wrong. But again, he's just taking the plans from Quenneville and
it's not as difficult, but like Carolina or Florida just had one of the best month of January, like one of the best months all time. And this is why it's just mid-season picks. Like, it might be different by the end of the year, but right now I think you have to give Andrew Brunette some love.
Definitely. I do like that Mike Sullivan pick, though. I must say that was one I was not thinking of putting out there, but I do like that pick.
He made Evan Rodriguez good.
Well, okay, no, Evan Rodriguez made himself good because Crosby and Malkin were injured the first 10 games of the year.
But who the hell thought Evan Rodriguez was going to be as good as he's been? Like, I'm not going to admit to that. I'm not putting my hand up.
Not a chance. I think I had Pittsburgh missing the playoffs.
Yeah, I think we both did. God, Mike Sullivan, great job.
Yep.
Brunette and Brendamore, that rounds out my top 3.
I like it.
Jack Adams.
I like it.
Calder,
here we go.
All right,
ready?
we're gonna have this debate. All right.
Ready for the show? Yeah, sit back and relax, people. This is gonna get heated.
So again, if you don't know, I'm a Red Wings fan. Scott's a Ducks fan.
Yep.
I want to see. I want you to go first because I want to see how biased you are.
How biased I am. Okay. So number 1, Zegers. Number 2, Seider. Number 3, Raymond. And I'm leaving Drysdale off this list because although he has played excellent and he's been a huge part of the top 4 in Anaheim, his team already has enough defensemen around him that are solid, where Seider basically carries that back line for Detroit, in my opinion. And again, that's why he might end up winning it, depending on how the second half of the season goes. But again, there's been a whole lot of talk about Raymond actually has more points than Zegers does.
That's true.
Which is a very valid argument. The NHL is falling in love with Zegers, as they should, to be honest. But again, he's done some fancy stuff, and he is a elite offensive player in the NHL at this point. And Raymond's just not quite on the same level, and he's not as flashy. And I think voters and fans don't appreciate his game as much as they should. To be honest, Zegers is going to win, but Raymond's going to put up a hell of a fight the rest of the way in.
So how the Calder Trophy voting should go is number 1 is Seider.
Yes. Okay.
Number 2 is Zegras. Number 3 is Raymond. Other names I just wanted to throw out there were Antoine Lundell.
Yep. Oh my gosh, he had 4 assists tonight.
4 assists tonight against Columbus, and Michael Bunting.
Yeah, true. And you could almost throw Nedeljkovic in there.
You could almost throw Nedeljkovic in there. I just wanted to throw Lundell and Bunting in because Lundell is obviously kicking ass. And Michael Bunting is doing a better Zach Hyman impersonation than when Zach Hyman was actually here. Like, he's doing a better job of being Zach Hyman than Zach Hyman.
Yeah. And he's cheaper. Doesn't cost as much.
Cheaper. So here's the deal. Seider should be leading the Calder Trophy. The problem is that he hasn't done Michigan this year. He hasn't got a cool gift for everybody yet.
If he has Michigan in Michigan, in Detroit, he's gonna be.
It's done. It's literally the Vince Carter. Like, it's over. Like, it's over. Here's the thing with Zegras is that I think it's easier to be a top 6 forward as a rookie than it is a top 4 defenseman. And especially when your D partner is Nick Leddy.
Sure. Yeah, no, fair enough. And again, Zegras is playing around so many solid forwards in Anaheim. Like, today he played with Henrique and Raquel. Other games he plays with Getzlav and Terry, who are ripping up like the league, all things considered.
And the reason I don't have, I mean, you did say Raymond has more points than Zegras. I think Raymond's played more games and he's getting more ice time, like maybe a minute more ice time than Zegras is. So it's not really, you're kind of comparing apples to apples, but like Zegras, probably deserves it over Raymond right now. Seider, though, should be, I think it's like the number 1.
Undisputed. Wow.
Undisputed.
Because it's gonna all I'm gonna say is it will be very close. It will be unbelievably close.
Like, those 3 are in their own tier. And
absolutely, yeah.
And the other thing that shouldn't go unmentioned is the fact that Mo Seider was just not having it with Sidney Crosby the other night on Friday night in Pittsburgh. He was in Crosby's grill all game, shoving him, getting in his face. And I like that. Yeah. He's not afraid to stand up to everybody. Zegras is off, going behind the goalie, doing a sick move. Seider's not afraid to get in front of the goalie. He's not afraid to get in your, captain's face. And that's what I love about him. And that's why he should be number 1 in Calder Trophy voting.
Yep. Seider's going to win a Norris Trophy at some point in his career. He's 6'5", and he moves the puck like he's 6 feet tall. Like, he's unbelievable.
Did you see him do a Travis Dermott spinorama the other night, like in the neutral zone Marner wasn't even trying. Like, he just kind of it's like me when we play, rec hockey. Not really making an effort because I'm not good enough to make a play. But Marner just didn't care, and Seider just did a spinorama against him. Really cool.
There you go.
Really fun stuff. Okay, Norris.
Let's go Norris. Yeah.
I'll give you my 3 first. I think it's Makar, Hedman, and Fox.
Ooh. Okay.
I think Makar is. I mean, Hedman's the best defenseman in the NHL. Makar is just having a ridiculous season. Yep. And Adam Fox has been injured for a bit now. Yep. But he's still really good.
Yep. I agree.
And I wouldn't be upset if Hedman won you could make it. Fox is a little bit tougher because he's missed a few more games, but Makar and Hedman, you could absolutely make a case for.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt about it. I think they're 2 of the premier defensemen in the NHL by far. I'm gonna go a bit of a different route. Makar is my pick to win, and I think he will win it. But I'm gonna throw Aaron Ekblad and Roman Josi into this conversation.
Ekblad's a good one.
And part of why Florida's had a huge turnaround, and again, sure, Mackenzie Weegar's very good, and they've got some solid defensemen down in Florida, Brennan Montour as well, Lax guy, but he's just been he's your bona fide number 1 defenseman in Florida on one of the best teams in the NHL, and he's an absolute force, kind of like Seider in a way. Like, Seider is almost the new Aaron Ekblad in some regards. Big, physical, can move the puck, absolute cannon of a shot. Like, yeah, he's like your number one right shot defenseman that you can only draft. It's the only way you get this player is you draft them. And,
Yeah. And I know there's a lot. I know there's a lot with Ekblad coming out of the draft of like, because wasn't he in the McDavid
year before 14?
Year before, okay. Like I know there was some conversation with like him and Hanifin. I believe Hanifin was in that draft.
Hanifin was 13. Nope, 15. Hanifin was 15 draft. He was 5th overall. 15. Yeah.
All right. The point is, I just knew. Like I remember when Ekblad came out. It's like here's a franchise defenseman. Like that was the thing to say about this guy. It's like this guy's a franchise defenseman, one of the better franchise defensemen. Not like a Rasmus Dahlin type. Like this is a franchise, stay at home defenseman. You don't have to worry about him. He's gonna play great.
Yep.
Take him in your set. Take him in your set for 10 years, and you don't have to worry about it. And that's like even skipping the development side with Ekblad. Right. Like he could have just played in the NHL right away. So I like that pick. And the OC pick, I see where you're going with the OC pick.
Mm-hmm. Like Nashville's been solid this year. They're not bottom feeders this year like they have been a couple for years past. And again, Yossi, now their decor, again, Nashville always seems to produce great defensemen somehow. And they always have a good, solid defensive core. But like Yoski's been a mainstay every single year for 6-7 years now. And like, yeah, he's a big part of why they've turned it around a bit, which is fun to watch. So UC Saros, full-time starter, has also helped a lot, not gonna lie. But
yeah,
Yossi's a big, he munches minutes. I think he plays 27, 28 minutes a night. At least let me check that. But yeah, Yossi's unbelievable.
So who's your 3 then for Norris?
I'm gonna say Makar, Hedman, and Ekblad.
Okay.
On my top 3. I think Makar.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really like as much as like Sider, Zegers, and Raymond are all leading the Calder, it's probably going to be between Makar and Hedman for the Norris.
No, I agree with that.
Vezina, goalies?
Goalies, wow. I think this is the one that's most up in the air.
Okay.
I believe. I got to give Gibson's not my pick to win. I want to hear your picks first, actually.
So I have Igor Shesterkin.
Interesting.
Winning the Vezina right now. He's my number 1 guy. I have Vasilevsky second.
Okay.
I have Saros third.
Ooh. Okay.
And then I have like Markstrom and Demko tied for 4th.
Interesting. Okay.
Because Markstrom's been good. Demko has gone through a lot, and it's picking up play. Like he's been picking up play quite a bit, I think, since Boudreaux got there. So, so that's why I kind of have them tied for 4th, and it's tied for 4th. It's not like they're in the top 3. I just think it's Shesterkin is the Vezina leader right now. Hot take.
That is a hot take. I mean, to be fair, the Rangers have been very good this year, and he's played had a lot to do.
He's the big reason why. He's the biggest reason why they've been so good.
Yeah. Georgiev's not the starter anymore, which is going to be very interesting with trade talks, and he might, he's almost a starter in his own right. And but yeah, I like that. That's a good pick, Shesterkin as your number 1. I would say he's on my list, but he's at 3 for me.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna put Vasilevsky at 4. He could be on this list. He could win every year. He's just that good, and he does play behind a really good team.
Yes.
Which often does not help in this situation. And same goes for Jack Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, again, there's such a good team with great systems in front of him that his numbers are sparkling, don't get me wrong. But it's one of those things like the Leafs are good, but is Campbell really that much of a contributor? And it's hard to say for sure. He's very good, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I don't know. I think Vasilevsky's going to win it, but I want to give love to Tristan Jarry as well.
He's had a good bounce back season.
Really good bounce back season, and John Gibson as well. I think Gibson's been a massive part of why the Ducks are even relevant this year.
So who's your top? If you had to go top 3?
Yeah.
Who would it be?
Oh, Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, Gibson in that order. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. All right. Let's do the Hart.
Yep. Save the best for last.
Save the best for last. I could make my McDavid argument about how he should be winning it every year.
Yep.
But I think you have to give it to Alex Ovechkin.
Honestly, right now, yeah.
I feel like this is kind of Ovi's award. If he keeps up this pace,
yeah,
I feel like this is Ovi's award to lose.
Honestly, yeah, I think it is too. Ovi, like, he is the Russian machine that never breaks. So
yes,
he is. And again, you don't know how many. I mean, Ovi's only got like 6 or 7 goals until he catches Yager for third all time, which is unbelievable, all things considered. And the fact that it's not even it's February tomorrow, but it's barely February, and the guy is absolutely lighting it up. And the Capitals are good. Don't get me wrong; they're a good team, but he's the reason why they're in the top 3.
It's not goaltending.
No, it's not. No, not on that team. And their defense score is like average at best.
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, their forwards are good, but Ovechkin's like he drives that team every night, and it's at 36. It's unbelievable how he does it.
It's really hard for me not to give him the Hart right now, but I have Ovechkin. McDavid is second.
Yep.
I have Jonathan Huberdeau
third
on this list.
Okay. Yep.
Do you know that Huberdeau's only 28?
I thought he was young. He feels younger, but I guess that makes sense. He was drafted in 2011, so
like I thought he was in his 30s.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. And then for Hart, I have tied for fourth, Shesterkin and Vasilevsky.
Nice. Oh, 2 goalies. Interesting. Okay.
Because I think those are the goalies who, if there's any goalies who deserve Hart love, it's Shesterkin or Vash.
Yeah, for sure.
So
absolutely.
So for you, it's Ovi then?
I'd love to see him win another Hart. That would be sick. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we'll make Ovi number 1, and then insert Edmonton Oiler at number 2. I don't. Dude, hey, he scored a couple nights ago. He did score a couple nights ago, which was interesting.
I read an article. I think it was a Sportsnet article where somebody just like casually threw in Evander Kane's Oilers, and it was just like that doesn't seem right. That's not legal.
Well, I guess if McDavid wants to play with him, I guess then it works. I don't know. It's kind of like the MJ, like the Jordan thing. Like if Jordan wants that player here, then let's get him here.
But I don't think. But it's different because like I think Jordan could maybe not with the Bulls, but like I feel like if Jordan just said he wanted a guy to play with, he could get a guy to play with. I don't think McDavid has that ability, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe I should say LeBron. LeBron's got more of
there you go. That's a good comp.
I feel like he's got more of the ability to like ask for players to come and join his team. And I mean Kane's pretty well a bargain. He's when behaving, he is a certified quality top 6 forward.
Yeah.
That has a bit of bite, and that's what the Oilers need. They needed some bite. And anyways, we're getting off track here, but yeah, I'm gonna say it'll be insert Edmonton Oiler number 2, whether it's Draisaitl or McDavid, depends on whoever gets injured first. And then I'm gonna say Huberdeau, Matthews, 3 tied for third. I don't know.
There's probably a Maple Leaf who deserves to be in there. It's probably Matt.
The issue with both Toronto and Florida is that there's so many good players on those teams. Like they kind of step on each other's toes in a way.
Like even Marner, who's had a really great year. Yeah. I don't think he's going to be in line for any awards, but
not a chance. No.
But because he's Mitch Marner, he's going to water down some of Matthews' voting.
And there's even an argument for Kaprizov in Minnesota to win Hart potentially.
Yeah. Right? I would listen to that argument.
He's not going to win it, but I think there's a chance. Like kind of like Ovechkin, he kind of drives that team. You just every time he's on the ice, you notice him, and that's the part that's really scary about him. And he's always dangerous. Doesn't matter. Well, okay, he's not dangerous behind his own net, but he's very dangerous in the offensive zone, and he's just so. he's not even quick. He's just so shifty and sneaky, and you don't expect it from him. But yeah, he's a man.
So mobile.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
So,
yeah.
Well, there you go. There's our midseason awards. I think the most likely one of mine to hit is gonna be. I'm gonna say McCarr wins the.
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah, I think the North. The other 4 awards we talked about are kind of up in the air. I feel like Jack Adams is always up in the air until the end.
That never goes the way you think it's gonna go.
No, exactly. And the same with like the Vezina now is way too early to call.
Mm-hmm.
The Heart's always you kind of near by this point you have like 3 or 4 names that are like close or are likely to win it. And then the Calder race is going to be one of the more exciting races ever in the Calder race, in my opinion. And it's nice that it features a couple guys from both our teams, which is fun to watch.
Gives us a little, interest on the side.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an argument that Kyle Connor could win the Rocket Richard this year when he scores at least 50 goals.
50 goals. There's not a chance Kyle Connor scoring 50 goals.
You
cannot shoot.
I can't believe I actually had, faith in somebody on the Jets outside of Hellebuck. That was my mistake. Let's do a quick soccer talk. We're gonna talk about Canada beating the US 2-0 in World Cup qualifiers in Hamilton at Tim Hortons Field on Sunday.
It's chilly Tim Hortons Field.
Chilly Tim Hortons Field. No Alphonso Davies. No American team. They didn't show up, I guess, on Sunday.
They're still in the dressing room staying warm.
Yep. Yeah. That's about it. They did. I don't know what to say about this because this is a big win for Canada. They haven't officially qualified yet for the World Cup, but they should when they do their next round of games in March. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Canada possibly making the World Cup?
Oh, I think this is almost an 11. You gotta love this. Like, who would have thought? Again, for our whole lives, the Canadian men's national team has been dog shit, for lack of a better word. They've been terrible.
You've been putting it nicely, actually.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They've been horrendous. It's one of those. It's like I was like, oh, whatever. Canadian men's soccer, like whatever. Like it just doesn't even matter. Like the women's soccer was fun to watch because at least they made World Cups and at least they were like relevant in the Olympics or
they were competitive.
Exactly, they got competitive and they had a chance to win every year they go and play. But now that the men's team, there's been such an influx of youth. Alphonso Davies has been a big part of that, but also Jonathan David's been really fun to watch, and Buchanan's one of their midfielders. I think he's really good as well, super solid player, and this team's good, and they will make the World Cup. And again, it's nice that they're going to be like, because in 2026, Canada, US, Mexico is hosting. So again, with that too, that's going to be very interesting because now that they've, assuming they make it for this year, pretty good chance they'll be making it in 2026 as well.
Well, aren't you making it because you're hosts? Don't technically the hosts get in?
But I remember they were talking about the host not guaranteed to get in because I'm not sure how it works, but
I don't understand why you're doing a 58 team World Cup anyways. Like you're really just watering it down at that point.
Yeah, it seems like a lot.
Yeah. I was in the States over the weekend. I mentioned it to like 3-4 different people of the fact that there was a game, the fact that Canada was playing the US, the fact that Canada won. Interest level was at 0. Wow. Nobody cared. Nobody was interested when I was mentioning this.
Is US soccer dead? ?
You can make an argument on an international level it might be. But Scott, you and I were talking about this earlier in the week. This is a great sports story. Canada making it to the World Cup. It's an excellent sports story. Great storylines. The best story we should all be rooting for is the US winning the World Cup.
In soccer.
In soccer, absolutely.
No.
Yes. That would be the greatest story of all time if the US won the World Cup. Because you would in Qatar.
No, forget
it's not going to happen. But I'm just saying it would be a great story because you would have all these, Europeans and soccer nations who would just be upset at the concept of America, who call it soccer. They don't even call it football. They call it soccer.
Yeah.
Winning the world's greatest tournament in the world's biggest tournament. And I think that would be winning the World Cup for the US would not just be about the US doing well. It would just be like pissing off half of the world. And I would be all for that.
You'd be all there for it.
I think that would be hilarious. And that's the story I'm rooting for. Is the US winning the World Cup. Just for that reason alone.
You know what? Fair enough. They're not gonna win. They're gonna probably draw like Germany or like
they're gonna lose in pens to Belgium in the quarters, and it's like, we did our best.
That sounds right. Yeah, they're gonna draw a couple good teams in their group, and they're gonna get shit on.
But then they're gonna beat, like, I don't know, Algeria or something in the group stage, and that's what's gonna, on points they're gonna get into the quarters and then lose in pens to somebody they had no business being in pens with in the first place.
Yeah, that's funny. That's pretty funny, actually.
So Canada, I think, actually has a game this Wednesday against El Salvador.
That sounds right, yeah.
And then they play the Americans in March.
Again?
I think, well, they've only played them once. I don't think they've played them twice.
Right. Yeah, they play home and home. That's right. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then they play somebody else too. The next round of games after this is on Wednesday, or it's in March, after the Wednesday game against El Salvador. Yeah. Canada is leading. So Canada is somehow undefeated.
Yep.
Leading the group. Doing it without their best player.
Not all those games, but the last.
No, but like the last, yeah.
I will say, I am living for his cellies on the whatever stream he's on. I was living for those. That was kind of made my weekend. Not gonna lie, I had a hell of a weekend, but that was the most hype shit I've seen. That's me in almost me in a video. That would be me if I was injured and my boys were.
That's like one of those fan reactions they post to YouTube after like a big moment, but it's actually just the best soccer player in Canada just getting absolutely hyped.
Yeah, of course, 100%. You love to see it.
Scott, is there anything else that you really want to chat about here before we get into a mailbag section?
No, let's save the All-Star chat for next week or for next Monday, just because it'll be post All-Star, which will be fun to talk about.
Again, if you didn't know, I'm coming up to Kelowna for Super Bowl weekend. So you can see, Joey Franchise and Big E, crushing it on the same weekend. Not in person, obviously, but you can't see Burrow. You can just see me. Burrow would cost a little bit more. I do it for free. We got four.
Get a cameo with you, with Joe Burrow. And
get a cameo with Burrow is probably $200, and then if you do a cameo with Burrow and myself, it's probably like $125, because I bring it down like $75. I think is how that works. That's how economics works. We have 4 questions in the mailbag.
Okay, let's hear it.
First one, from Noah.
Yep.
Is Brad Marchand the GOAT?
Ooh.
Now, this goes back to 2 different incidents recently. Him on social media, where a while back when Carolina beat Boston, and Carolina said something hilarious, and then Marchand replied on Twitter, "You're the reason why I have to pay escrow."
That's funny.
So that's a funny remark.
That's good.
Which I think we need more of in the NHL is trash talk, economics trash talking.
Yeah, you'd live for that.
I would be so down for that. And then he also said, when they were talking about Arizona and the Coyotes in the new arena and how they might move to ASU in a new 5,000 seat stadium, seat arena, somebody asked him, "Hey, Marchand, what are your thoughts on this?" And he's like, "Well, you could sell it out so long as you give 4,500 seats away for free. You should be able to sell it out." Which is also funny. I thought that was hilarious. He's kind of doing the Tom Brady thing of character transformation online, socially. He's just saying whatever he wants, and I'm all here for it. I live by that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Again, Brad Marchand will always be known, like, oh, not always known, but he's always been like a guy that gets under your skin, a little bit of an instigator. But he is an elite hockey player, and I think he's done some really cool things in the community. And some of like his clapbacks on social media are pretty funny. Not gonna lie, I think he's just kind of become a more rounded guy, and a little bit you kind of see his, like, again, we talked about personality. You kind of see his personality more, and it's cool. It's fun to see. I've started to give him a little bit more respect than I used to. I think.
Well, he's
Yeah,
also not doing the same shit. I mean, like he's not doing the dumb stuff on the ice that he used to do.
that's true, and that's a big part of it, which is nice to see for sure.
Friend of the pod, Matthew Mosquita. He's been on the pod before. He asked Burrow or Staff.
Basically, like, who's gonna win the Super Bowl?
No, not necessarily. I think it's more just like a quarterback ranking. Who would you rather have as a quarterback? I would rather have Joe Burrow.
Yeah, so would I, 100%. Stafford's really good, but I think, like, if I was to, start a franchise right now, Joe Burrow, 100%.
Joe Burrow. This is a tough look for married Christian men with kids like Stafford is. Tough look for him, but Joe Burrow is essentially just a Jack Harlow of the NFL, like I said earlier. Like this dude just has so much swagger and can do whatever he wants. Although apparently, rumor is he's dating an LSU gymnastics star.
Okay.
So you could tell they're going to be breeding some D1 babies if that works out.
Of course.
That's just genes coming together to create like.
It's funny how the cheerleaders and the quarterbacks always get together. Or is gymnastics or
gymnastics, not cheerleading, gymnastics. I would hate to offend both the cheerleading and the gymnastics communities by saying they're similar to one another. That's not who I am.
Yeah,
but
true. You're right.
But that might be one of the that's how athletic families come together, right? It's just athletes and good looking people coming together and creating even more famous athletes and even better looking superstars. That's how that works. That's what I learned at sex class at SFU.
There you go. The more you know.
You asked, give the 4 SYP careers that play in the KJRHL an X Factor badge. Now, the 4 players who play in this league are yourself, Keith, Kev, and Gabe.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. I have to figure out what all the X Factor badges are here.
I have an answer for this, but I want to hear what you think first.
So let me pull up some X Factor badges that I could see for sure.
You've seen all 4 of us play hockey.
I have.
Yes.
I just need to know what the badges are. You can kill some time and you say who you think should have what. Okay.
So based on our game last night, and I've played with these guys for years now. Keith's gonna get Crease Crasher for sure.
Crease Crasher, okay.
Crease Crasher for sure. Keith goes hard to the net, buries the rebounds most of the time. Kevin's a tough one. I think Kevin's gonna get Third Eye for me. Very good, like kind of out of vision passing, and he'll find you in spots that you wouldn't expect it. Gabe's gonna get Stick 'em Up or Shutdown. I think it's Lockdown or Shutdown, whatever the one with the gate and the key is. I'm pretty sure it's Lockdown or whatever. He's definitely gonna get that one. That guy, you honestly cannot beat him one-on-one. I have tried many times. It does not work. Never beat that guy one-on-one. And I'm gonna give myself either tape to tape or magnetic. I don't know. Maybe even Elite Edges, but
I would definitely give you a skating X Factor.
You think so? Like Elite Edges?
Either Elite Edges or Wheels.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm not that fast, but
faster than me. Elite Edges, I think that's what you get. Kevin, I think, gets. What does Kevin get? Kevin might get. See, I was gonna say Thunderclap because when I played with him, He had the second hardest slap shot on our team behind Dylan Kerr.
Nice. I don't think I've seen Kevin take a slap shot all season.
Well, I haven't been at the KJRHL.
This is a good point. This is true.
Puck on a string, maybe for Kevin.
Ooh.
He's very. I find like he's very smart with the puck.
Yeah.
Also a bit of a coward, you and Kevin, for kind of just ducking, turtling when fighting.
That's not an X factor, is it?
I don't think it is, but it's just something I noticed. And then Gabe. What does Gabe get? Gabe might get I don't know. I've only played with Gabe on a pond, right?
Right.
I think he did have a good move on me when we were playing pond.
Okay.
Like trying to clear even though we were on the same team, he did have a good move where he was trying to clear the puck out, but he like kind of broke my ankles as I was wheeling and he was trying to like break out. So maybe some, ankle breaker.
Ooh, nice. Ankle breaker's a good one.
Did I give Keith one?
No, not yet.
Keith's kind of an all around. He has some good passing. He has some good shooting.
Okay.
His hockey IQ in Shell is when he actually plays Shell is maybe not the best, but that's also coming from me.
That's funny.
Keith, you know what? Keith gets all alone because he scored all the time on breakaways and penalty shots in Shell and when we play for our team.
Okay.
Our club team.
So that translates to on the ice then. Whatever he does in Shell translates on the ice.
Yes, absolutely. Low IQ, good passing and shot, but his mistakes outweigh that.
Honestly, hey, it happens, man. To be fair, I did give him 2 like passes right in the slot. He had open net, or not open net, but he had a clear look at the net and he missed both times.
Do you have a goal like goalies, or do you have shooter tutors when you?
No, we have goalies. Yeah, we have good goalies. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Finally, my dad asked about discussing dry February.
Okay.
Which I think you like. I always like. I don't know about always, but like for the last few years, it's like I should really drink less after Super Bowl. Like it's not drinking less in general. It's just like I'm gonna go hard at Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then not gonna drink.
And not drink the rest of the month. Interesting.
Or just cut down my alcohol intake. And then for whatever reason or another, it just doesn't happen.
Instead of having 10 beers at Super Bowl, have 4. Still less.
Instead of buying the 24-pack of Corona, just buy the 12-pack and call it good.
Are you going to do that again this year, by the way?
I don't think so, no.
No? Okay.
Speaking of...
Your liver will thank you later, I think, if you make that choice.
Speaking of dry February, are we doing a beer mile as well?
I mean, we can. There might be snow on the ground here, but sure.
There will be snow on the ground, I'm sure, in Kelowna. That'd be great content, wouldn't it be?
Do a beer mile?
You
want to go after the Rockets game?
Not after the Rockets game, but maybe like on the Sunday before Super Bowl, and get your cross country friends to go against me.
Oh, dude, they would. Yeah, that would be entertainment at its finest.
So dry February probably not happening.
Probably not, but you never know.
Something to consider. Don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. All right. You should know your limit. Don't drink if you don't want to. Don't be peer pressured into drinking.
It's a good model. It's good.
Don't drink and drive. We have social beers after the Silver Tips game. I don't get one because I don't have a desk, but even then, I wouldn't have one because I'm driving. You got to be smart about this.
Smart man. People should listen to you more.
People should listen to me more?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. That might be the biggest hot take of the podcast.
Really, man, there's been some hot takes on this podcast.
And that might be the biggest one that people should listen to me more. This is also coming from the same dude who doubled up on it. I had the Chiefs winning this weekend. Because
didn't we all though?
Not everybody.
No,
I had I also had the Chiefs like with the spread and outright. Like I had the Chiefs to win by like 7 points.
Oh, okay. That's tough. Did you hit the over at least?
Didn't bet the over. Wasn't relevant.
Wasn't relevant. Okay, that's fair.
So, but you know, some say these NFL playoffs aren't relevant because the Seahawks are in.
Some as in you.
Some as in people who live in the Pacific Northwest and the greater Northwest, Idaho, Montana, Oregon.
Where does the Pacific Northwest stop? Does it stop at Utah? Do you think? Is Utah considered Pacific Northwest?
No, it might be in the NBA, but it isn't in like geography.
Yeah. Well, I'm just curious, like, what your personal opinion of where the Pacific Northwest is.
So Scott and I have had this conversation about geography before. I think the Pacific Northwest ends, at about I like the Idaho-Utah border.
Okay. Yep.
And then it goes about as east as like Missoula.
Okay, so like Western Montana, yeah.
Western Montana, and then goes about as south as Oregon.
That's fine. Yeah.
That's about as much as I think the Northwest can legitimately claim.
I don't disagree.
And then going about as north as
the Canadian border, maybe.
Oh, I was thinking like.
Oh, you're going even into Canada. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I was thinking like Port Hardy, but like only up to like.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's
that's what I consider the Northwest.
There's some basis to that. I don't disagree with that entirely.
We're not going to have our Midwest Prairies conversation again. We'll save that for another podcast.
Well, dude, that's for a podcast with some drinks.
Hey, have you heard of Gordle, by the way?
No.
Oh, you've heard of Wardle.
Like Wardell Steph Curry?
No, Wardle, like the game that people are playing on their phones, the word game.
No.
Oh, I should get you into this because basically I've been playing. There's a hockey version where you basically like have to pick 5-letter names until you get it right.
Okay.
And pretty much I've been playing the hockey version of it, which is called Gordle, Gordle.
Okay. Gordle. I'm looking at it now. So there's Wordle.
Yes, but there's Gordle.
Gordle.
Yes.
It's not coming up in the App Store.
It's not in an app store. It's just a website.
Oh, I see. Okay. Here, let me go to it right now. It's
so basically it's called Gordle.
Got it. Okay.
Somewhat associated with Wordle. And pretty much you have to like fill in like the letters to make a 5-letter name, a hockey name, until you get it right.
Okay.
And I don't want to say I'm crushing it, but I think I've been doing like pretty well.
Right. Okay.
Today's one was a little bit difficult.
Oh, it's like one per day kind of thing.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. Here.
So so this is great podcasting stuff right here.
This is great.
But pretty much I got today's one, and then what was the other one I got the other day? That was good. Oh yes, these are, I can't spoil it, but these are past and present guys. So these are guys that have played in the past or have played currently, are playing currently.
Got it. Okay.
So you should get into that. That's me. That's my multi-level marketing. That's my Ponzi scheme pitch to you, is to get into Gordle.
Got it. And it's gotta be 5. It's gotta be, so it's 5 letters. You have to go across.
Yes.
With 5 names, and when you type it goes in order, right? Or is there like yeah, go ahead.
If you start with, for example, Chara,
sure,
you type that out and it'll tell you how accurate you are to it. With green, like if your letter's green, that's where the letter should be. If your letter's in yellow, the letter is correct, but not in that spot. It's somewhere else along the line. And if it's gray, then it's not right. It's not in there. It's not in there at all.
Right. Okay. It's only five-letter last names.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
We're gonna do a recap of this and a part 2 of this next week for Gordle.
Absolutely.
Scott plays Gordle.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else here? We got a good pod.
That's a good pod.
I'm gonna be in the States next weekend as well, as the Silvertips have a 3-3 against the Victoria Royals, the Prince George Cougars, and the Kelowna Rockets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So they play in Everett. The Rockets play in Everett this weekend, or it's coming, and then the weekend after they come up.
Yes. This was a rescheduled game.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, right. Of course. Yeah, right.
Cool. Some say the Rockets had to postpone because they were hanging out with Rutland girls too much.
That's got to be it.
That's it. And it's also dog races. We do dog races during the intermission.
Interesting. That's the entertainment.
That's the entertainment on the ice. Dog races on the first period of the Sunday game against the Rockets. So
that's awesome.
Stay tuned for me going down to the States. And then the weekend after, I'm going to be in Kelowna. We're going to be watching the Silvertips Rockets. I'm going to be covering the Silvertips game Saturday virtually that weekend against Kamloops, and then Sunday at Super Bowl.
There you go.
Anything you want to plug or promote before we head out?
I'm good. Nope. Everything has been promoted that needs to be promoted. So.
And then we'll do some KJRHL content when I'm up there too. Can't wait for that.
Absolutely.
So pretty much, again, like this video on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, check us out on Spotify, where you can find us on Spotify, but not Neil Young. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Check us out. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Have a great week. Bye-bye.